You can also ask, how does it now affect central banks' decisions globally? And how does it affect budget? How does it affect currencies? So that's what I'm explaining to you in as simple as possible. So because we said oil is useful for everything, for shipping, for transportation, etc. So when the prices move up, you feel it. You feel it. You and I feel it when the oil prices move up. Despite the countries that are exporting it benefiting, you still feel it because it translates into the consumer's pockets directly and fast. And when that happens, it causes inflation. It causes inflation. And so inflation is one of the things that a central bank watches. A Fed Reserve, European central banks, that's one of the things they watch. And so when the price of everything start going up, inflation goes up. And so they want inflation, they don't like inflation going up. So most of the central banks will watch oil prices. And that is how it affects the central banks and the Fed Reserve's decision. And I said government budget. So if you're an oil producer, you have more revenue. So yes, it's a good sign for you. You are able to get more money and more revenue, and you're able to reshape and maybe probably have a surplus budget because of that. You have more money to put in your sovereign investments, your fund and everything, and your country is generally well there. But if you're an oil importer, you're a major oil importer, like I said, it affects the government revenue. And so it's lower in that instance. And that is how that affects the government decision. How does it affect currency? If you're an oil producing country, your currencies also go stronger because there's demand for oil. So there's going to be demand for your currency. So your currency is supposed to appreciate. Oil is also power. People that have oil control the global economy. And like I said, the Gulf country that have the most oil, they have that power over the global economy. So they can dictate what they do about oil. So the OPEC countries that are all are exporters of oil, they have that power to decrease supply. So when oil prices are going down, they can reduce supply so that there is a bit of scarcity and then oil prices come up. You understand? And when oil prices are going too high, they don't want oil prices to be too high too. Or when it's too high, they take advantage and produce more. And in a way, it regulates itself. So that is how the OPEC also controls the supply and demand of oil and the prices. So like I said, having oil is also power. And you may ask why maybe a country like Nigeria is not so benefiting from all this. The only thing I can say is probably that the population and their need has outweighed the oil production that they currently have. Nigeria has been fluctuating and producing 1.4 to 1.7 million barrels per day, and it's okay, but the population is growing faster and faster. So at that point in time, you might not really benefit as much as a country that has maybe like 10 million people and producing almost the same thing you're producing. So that is an explanation for why Nigeria does not feel the effect as an oil producer as much as those Gulf countries. So right with the Iran and the Israeli and US conflict and the geopolitical tension all around, it's going to affect the supply of oil. So definitely you expect that the price of oil should go up, and it's already gone up. It is around 90 at this point in time. That's the highest in 2 years. It opened around 60 something barrel this year, and everybody was thinking, oh, oil prices will be so low this year because there's a lot of supply. But right now, tension has caused prices to go up because there's expectation that there will be less supply. And coupled with the fact that the Strait of Hormuz that Iran has said no ship should pass. So that is another thing. And that's where 20% of the oil vessels and everything pass through. The fact that it's been threatened of closure is another reason why you expect that oil prices will go up, because the supply will be limited. So Nigeria as a country and African country are in an advantageous position, but they don't produce as much as that can supply the world as a sense. So oil prices will continue going up while we watch what happens and the tensions calm down. So that's part of the reason why everybody is so concerned about oil prices. Yeah, it's not just about the cars on the road, it's about the ship on the water, it's about the plane in the sky, it's about manufacturing, it's about fertilizers. So it's a lot of things. Oil is used in production, so it's about manufacturing, in making roads. So a lot of things are just all linked to oil. So that's why everybody is worried about oil. And that's why you should also take note when you hear in the. I hope you've learned something today, because Financial Tea with Damilola, like I said initially, is all about financial literacy. It's to teach you. You can go further and maybe add it to your financial life or investment decisions and all, but we are basically not advisory on investment. It's just financial literacy more. So that's more of the focus of Financial Tea with Damilola, just to explain what is happening globally for you in terms of the economy, how it affects financial decision and everything. So I hope you've learned today and how oil affects the global prices, how it causes inflation, how central bank reacts, and everything. So watch out for our next episode where we'll be talking about what central bank will do when inflation bites. I know you will talk about inflation a lot. It is important. Thank you again for watching, and please click that subscribe button. Bye.